Let's see. If you had a video game made to your exact specifications, what would it be? It's an interesting question. I would say I'm more of an open world type of guy. I like the interaction. The online aspect would definitely have to be implemented. I would say like GTA, but even more interactive, where it seems more congruent to real life. Like I really liked GTA San Andreas. I liked the whole working out thing. You could like work out your CJ and get him bigger. You can get him fatter. Modern day open game world. Yeah, basically, make it as realistic as possible, as big as possible. That's quite that idea is quite ambitious, but the bigger the game, the better. That's why GTA is such a force of nature in the gaming business, and it has been for many years. So, in all honesty, yeah, I like that aspect. CJ, if he got too fat, that would happen. So I would say I'm kind of hoping GTA 6 is that game. I know it's this. Apparently, there's several years until that game comes out, but hopefully, it fulfills some of those desires that many of us have for video games. So yeah, I would say a big modern world game with as much interaction with each other and as congruent to real life as possible. All right, next question. Again, folks, you can ask questions here on the Twitch. I'll answer them. Favorite movie that no one really knows about? Interesting. Let me think for a second here. Favorite movie that no one really knows about? Well, I would say there's two movies that come to mind. These movies are not mainstream necessarily. One of them is Red Dawn, not the old one with, I believe it was Charlie Sheen. The newer one with Josh Peck, I think Josh Hutcherson, I believe that's his name. That was a very good movie. I think Chris Hemsworth was in it, but it never seemed mainstream to me. That was a good movie. I believe it was Korea, was the country that invaded the U.S., and these teenagers made it some sort of a political faction to fight off the Koreans. Very good movie. Very underrated. Another one would be, since I am obviously a combat sports enthusiast, and if you are one as well or want to delve into it, there's a movie called Warrior. Very good movie. It has Tom Hardy in it. Again, I don't believe it's very mainstream. To not give up the movie, but just to quickly leave the cliff notes, it's basically about two brothers. One of them went down the wrong path. One of them became, white collar worker, but then they crossed paths again. I believe thanks to their father, who was kind of an estranged father. He was kind of a deadbeat. And they end up battling again. It was a very good movie. A lot of underlying themes in that one. So yeah, those two movies, Red Dawn and Warrior, I'd recommend them. Pretty well done. Let's see. Would you rather have access to chakra, ki, or spirit energy from Bleach? If ki, would you be a Saiyan? Well, if we're talking equal stats, probably chakra. I just like the variation that comes with chakra. If you're a capable shinobi, right? Like, ideally, you'd want to be a shinobi with, 5 chakra natures. But if it's not equalized, then probably ki, and most definitely, I would most certainly be a Saiyan. I'm sure it's pretty OP feeling the God ki specifically. So take that shit off real quick. But yeah, so probably ki. But if it's equalized, probably chakra. I just think being a Super Saiyan, you're something else entirely in the anime world in general, at least mainstream animes. If you had to choose a jutsu to know, what would it be? Like Flying Raijin? A jutsu to know. Interesting. Thinking of all the jutsus that come to mind, what would be the most useful? Well, I guess it depends on what you prioritize, right? If it's getting things done, then the Shadow Clone Jutsu. It exponentially increases your rate of learning, right? It exponentially increases your rate of productivity. So if that's what you prioritize, then probably Shadow Clone Jutsu. If you want absolute power, something like the Susanoo would be more interesting. The Susanoo or Truth-Seeking Orbs, which obliterate everything in their path, are only weakened by Sage Chakra, I believe, or Nature Energy. But I think, me personally, I'd probably choose the Shadow Clone Jutsu. It just has so many utilities that you probably would learn on the job, on the fly, as you kind of learn how to use the abilities, kind of like Naruto did, when he slowly just made it more and more convenient, conventional, and he made it a hell of a tool by the end. He was doing many things with it. Learn jutsu, S rank jutsus in a matter of days, matter of weeks. I think it's a very useful ability. What's one really funny and one real bad customer experience when working on a job? So some IRL topics. I like it. Let's see. One funny one, I would say. Let's think here. There's been many. I've had a couple jobs in my day. A funny experience. Okay, so to me this is funny. Flying Thunder God would be super useful. I agree. That's a very good ability as well. You just mark everywhere. Let's see. A funny experience in general. Okay. Let me think. Okay, this was when I used to work at a restaurant. It was a drive-through one. And what happened was we ran out of a product. I think it was chicken or some shit. And I wasn't on the drive-through thing, the intercom or whatever. It was a girl. The guy fucking was cussing out the girl. He was like, "There's no fucking chicken here. What the fuck, man?" And like, you know, he kept cussing him out. So the guy behind him, who was a younger guy, just to bring in more context, the guy that was cussing out the girl had his wife in the passenger seat, and I think he had a little son in the back seat. The car behind him, the one that was getting mad at him for cussing out a girl, was just this younger guy with his girlfriend. So the guy behind him started saying, "What the fuck, man? You shouldn't be talking shit to females." And they basically pulled up on each other. They fucking got out and started fucking fighting. And I was watching, enjoying myself. As sadistic as that sounds, it was very entertaining, very funny, because the fucking little kid grabbed, like, I think it was a piece of plankwood off the fucking ground and started trying to hit the fucking other dude with it, which was very bizarre. Very funny, very bizarre. Then the wife got out. They were all jumping the fucking dude, and the fucking girlfriend just sat in there. Like, what the fuck? Like, help your man out, you know? It was pretty entertaining. It really was. But to give the guy behind the asshole credit, he did pretty well against the dad. He didn't touch the wife or the kid. He was just like, what the fuck? But he got him a good time. I think what happened is some random bystander came by, calmed him down. That was the end of that, but it was very entertaining. They were lucky the cops were not called. We were kind of just enjoying it. We didn't even call the cops. We're like, let's watch these fireworks, you know? Let's watch these fireworks. I've always wanted to see a fight when I was in high school. Yeah. I started boxing very young, but ironically, I've never been in a altercation outside competition. So, yeah, it's very interesting to see people get mad at each other. It's very entertaining. It's very funny, especially when they don't know what they're doing. See some funny skirmishes. That one was very funny. Yeah, so to finish the story, some random bystander stopped it. He said, just calm the fuck down, go the fuck home. And someone must have really pissed in that guy's Cheerios that day. The fucking guy that was mad about the food. Yeah, so that was very interesting and very entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. Bad customer experience, though. Let's see. I think one bad one for me. Let me think. So, it was a homeless guy, and he wanted food for free. Right, he wanted food for free, and I obviously said, no, I can't do that. That's not the way it works. And let's just say we were the same ethnicity. Try to play that card. He's like, well, you should support your fellow, and then the ethnicity he stated. I was like, well, I can't do that. I'm gonna get in trouble, so I cannot help you. So he like grabbed his nasty ass water bottle, opened it, and fucking like splashed it all over me. Right. I was pretty upset. I mean, I wasn't gonna attack him and lose my fucking job, but I was just like, what the fuck, old man? After he did that, he just cussed me out, like, you know, the whole 9 yards. Yelled at me while he was walking out. I was like, are you serious? It was some nasty ass water too. I don't know if it was even water, to be honest. It's pretty disgusting. That was an interesting day, I'd say. Very interesting day. Working with people, right, is just, it's a real grind. You gotta be, that's gotta be your thing to be able to do that. That's all I gotta say, at least in my opinion. For sure. But there's been many experiences. Alright, next question. Do you cherish memory of a moment with friends, whether it be funny or something that stuck with you? A good moment with friends. Alright. So you guys know, if you're in the Discord, I'm going to get not too personal, but my friend John, you guys know him. He's a Hokage in the Discord. What happened was, when we were younger, we were probably high schoolers, we used to all hang out, and we'd all like just mess around and you know, have a good time, just shoot the shit. And sometimes, because one of our friends had a pretty big ass house, we'd all crash there for the night. And John was always the first one to fall asleep. So, what we used to do is we would get fucking permanent markers, and we would draw dicks all over his ass. All over. Permanent marker, by the way. We would draw them on his fucking face, on his arms, and he would never get up. He slept like a fucking rock. So he would always get up, like middle of the night, if he had to go to the bathroom or some shit. And he would fucking start yelling. He's like, what the fuck is this? Why is there fucking dicks all over me, man? Are you fucking serious? I'm like, well, can't fall asleep first around us. I'm sorry. Can't fall asleep around us, man. Cannot do that. That's what happens. You pay the price. So we would draw dicks all over him. He'd get very upset. Also, I used to prank John a lot. I mean, some pranks were pretty cruel. But one time, let's think of a good prank here. One time, let's just say, who missed all over a friend? Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, one time, this is quite the prank. So, we were all FaceTiming, like, just shooting the shit. And, I think John was just fucking around and, like, did something. I screenshotted it. I'm not gonna get into detail what it was. It wasn't any sus shit, so don't go to that route. It wasn't sus. But it was like, you know, I screenshotted it, and I made him think that I posted it online. I made him think that I posted it online, and I told him. He was fucking mad. He's like, are you fucking serious, dude? You're gonna fucking post that? And I drew like all over it, all over the screenshot. So I made it look really bad. But obviously I didn't post it. It was on private, so no one could see it. But he thought I posted it. He was really fucking mad. He was like cussing me out. I was laughing my ass off, I'm not gonna lie. He's like, you're a fucking piece of shit. You drew dicks all over my face and shit. Like, what the fuck, man? You're gonna post it? I'm like, hey, man. I gotta do what I gotta do. But then obviously I told him, it's a fucking prank, dude. Relax. I'm obviously not gonna do that shit. I'm not that cruel. I'm cruel, alright? But I'm not that fucking cruel. So chill the fuck out. But yeah, we used to fuck with him. We're some cruel individuals. I'll say that. Some cruel individuals. It's a lot of funny times. But let's see here. Next question. Do you watch VTubers? I don't believe so. I've heard of the term before. I know it's like online entertainers who disguise their appearance using like digital avatars. I don't believe I've delved into that. It seems interesting, but I believe not. I don't believe so. But what I think of them, since that's asked, I think it's an interesting new avenue for entertainers with things becoming more convenient technology-wise, with technology quickly advancing. So I think it's interesting. I've never watched one personally. I don't believe so. Very interesting though. Good luck to them.